everybody, Elisa here with another Vera Bradley bag of the day. Um, I finally got my two huge work jobs out of the house. Took them to FedEx today, and so I finally have time now to do some video. So I'm going to try and do a couple. I don't know if I'll get them all done today or all loaded up today, but I have kind of this queue of viewer requests, and I feel so bad because I haven't been able to do them in a very timely way. So the first, but I want to try to tackle them, and the first one is for MamaG. Finally, I'm sorry this took so long. She is another participant in the Vera Bradley focus group that I'm in, and had some questions because she noticed, as I'm sure lots of people have noticed, I don't have a smartphone, and I have this old school clamshell phone, and so that often requires me to carry around a few more separate devices. So I have my phone, then I have my iPod, which I like to take with me for the camera or the music. So I don't have my music on my phone. And then I like to take my iPad mini with me because that's where my work email account is set up. So she was curious as to how I work with all those with the Vera items, and like if I found particular items, I guess that work well for me with those various things. And so I just thought I would try to talk a little bit about what I do with those things when I'm carrying a Vera bag. So I just should say first off, so that's what this video will be, and then I'll try to get to the other requests in a separate video because I know not everybody's interested in the same stuff. So I should just say, I'm sure people can tell from other videos that I don't require a lot of interior bag organization all the time. Sometimes I'm just throwing stuff in there. But other times I do make use of the interior pockets, and still yet other times, which I have mentioned recently in a few videos, the bag doesn't have a secure top closure, then and doesn't have any interior zipper pockets or an interior zipper pocket that's large enough for some of my stuff. Then I'm sort of forced to become more creative, trying to get that security for myself. And so that's where I thought I would start because I've been, I recently fallen in love with this quick draw bag, and I've shown two of them. I've acquired a number in rapid succession. So I thought, I used this today for a bit, and then I switched out to something else as well. But anyway, so that was a big deal for me when I love the quick draw, but sometimes inside, like my wallet won't fit in the zipper pocket. Well, I did recently find that the iconic RFID card case fits, which is nice, and that's what I used today here. Where is that? So this is my most recent iconic RFID card case. And I don't have anything. I took everything out because I want to show how I get some security, and it's easier to do it this way. But I just want to show that this does fit. Have to see, but it does fit in that pocket, and it does zip up in there. So that I was very pleased about. But I don't tend to like to cinch the top of this bag, and so this will fit in a slip pocket, but again, the top is not secure. So what do I do with this? The phone, the iPad mini, the wallet, if a wallet didn't fit. I wanted to find something almost like a bag liner that I could put in there, but then I had to figure out, how do I keep that in place so that someone can't just reach in and lift it out and get everything anyway. So in the last online outlet sale, I always look for Splash Dot because I love it, and I know it's retired. What year was I wrote down some pattern years here. This was spring 2018, and it is retired officially. But you see items, fewer and fewer items, in the, unfortunately, but in the online outlet sales. And so I got this because I felt like I needed something with a strap that I can use to tether this to this. Similarly to this, which is the iconic tote bag, which I just did a video about. This only has a magnetic snap up top and no interior zipper pockets. So this works with this as well. So this is called, and I am going to get to, you know, what kinds of things I stick my different devices into. Let me see, I have all these tags out here because I never remember the names of anything. Okay, this is the Lighten Up On the Horizon Crossbody in Splash Dot. I don't remember what I paid for it. It retailed for $58. I didn't pay that at all. You know, it was the online outlet sale. So I did just stuff some stuff in here just so people could see it, just to show the item, in case people are maybe interested in this item. If it's available in other patterns, or they see it in the online outlet sale, you know, the next one. So I just thought I'd go talk about it real quick, go over it real quick, and put it on as a crossbody so people can see. And this is about almost three inches wide, you know, thick, and 6 by about 9. It is the Lighten Up fabric, and this crossbody strap is not slippery. It's not the shiny kind. It has more of a cotton feel to it. I don't know what it's made of, but anyway, so you know, you get the pull ties, the Lighten Up pull ties, which are these cords that I always say make me feel like I should be going camping. I guess it doesn't. I don't know. I think they are starting to feel a little like, I don't mind them on the larger Lighten Up items, but on the smaller ones, I do think they're a little odd and out of proportion, and I think they're starting to feel that way here. This is just starting to be small enough. Anyway, this is exterior vertical pocket. I don't know what they intend you to put in here, maybe a passport or something, but I tell you what, slipping my hand in here, it's getting scratched up. There's no way I'm ever using this pocket, ever, because that zipper feels horrible. The other 2 zippers are plastic, soft plastic zippers. So there are 2 sections. And the first section has like a charger pocket with a grommet there, and this slip pocket. So I guess, you know, you could slip, like my iPod fits in there. My iPod is 2.5 by 5 inches, and it's got room. You probably could get something just a little bit bigger, but not much in the tall height dimension. But it definitely has more room in the width dimension. So that's the front pocket. Of course, and you know, there's this bigger area here. Then in the back, I just stuffed some stuff in here to give it some shape. But in the back, you've got 6 card slots there on that wall, you can see, and nothing on the other wall. It's just a larger section. And then on the exterior back, there are these 2 slip pockets. It's not one big one. Oh, it is one big one. Forgot about that. It's a covered magnet. So at first it felt like there were 2, it was sort of tacked down there like there was a seam, but it's not. It's a big one with a covered magnet. So that's nice. I haven't been using that because of how I use this bag. I'm not going to use this bag as a crossbody because I have tried it on. I'll put it on right now. And there's something about the spot, this spot where the crossbody strap is attached to the bag, I feel is just far enough down that the bag tends to flip around like this. it's like it's not weighted properly. These straps needed to be a little bit higher up so that the bag doesn't tend to do that. But they wanted the zipper, you know, they wanted you to have a bigger opening with the zipper. So anyway, I'll put it on. You see, it started to do that. I started to straighten it out, and it started to list forward like that. I don't like that at all. Because you don't ever want, if you have something in there loose and the zipper's not all the way closed, you know, it might spill out a lip balm or your keys or whatever. So anyway, but this is how it looks on. If you are so inclined to use it this way. So, you know, it looks all right. Yeah, like I'm always saying, I'm not a huge crossbody person, but it's all right. And this strap is comfortable. But how I wanted to use this, and it works perfectly, especially in the quick draw, is like a liner. So this is one of my more recent quick draw purchases. This is a Camellia pattern, which was spring 2012, obviously retired pattern. I love this pattern. I think I like the bold flowers, but yet it's not garish because it's a very neutral color scheme. So I've said in other videos of mine that I feel like this is a good neutral. Works stunning, you know, it looks stunning against a black outfit for sure. It's just very beautiful. You can see there's detail work and subtle like beige shading in the flowers, give them form. And I do like the contrasting trim here up top. Although on some of my other bags, they have an alternate contrasting trim. The wider contrasting trim has leaves, which are gorgeous. So, I mean, you can just, you know, oops, my straps. You get a feel for the pattern there. That's part of what's so great about this tote, is how it can show up a pattern nicely, you know, on the back. The front, like I've talked about, you know, the pockets can sometimes interrupt the pattern a little bit, with various results, you know, effects. Here to me is not so bad. So anyway, this bag is about 12 by 12, but it doesn't look square. It looks more like a bucket because the base is not 12 inches the long way. I think the base, I've measured it in one of my other bags, other videos on this bag, but I think the long dimension here is about 9. So that creates that kind of rectangular look when you're wearing the bag. It doesn't look like a square. So what I do, because I like to wear it open like this, and you know, the slip pockets in there are very small, and like I said, not every wallet will fit in that zipper pocket. And then you have I have other things. So like I'm thinking primarily about my iPad mini. You know, I don't want someone reaching in there and grabbing that. So what I do is I empty this out, and I want it to be tethered. I want it to be secure. So I use this drawstring cord on the inside. I usually choose one. I guess you could choose any loop that you want, but I've been choosing one on one of the sides. Just seem neater, but I guess you could do it in the back. Should try doing it in the back right now. So I take this strap. You see it's upside down, flips upside down when there's nothing in it, when it's lighter, especially when it's lighter. So I take the strap, try to be neat about it, and I thread it through part of the drawstring. And I pull it through, and then I take this and feed it through there. And then I pull it, so it's secure now. And then I take this, it's attached. And then I take this, and it fits perfectly, it's a perfect size. for this particular thing. Like it takes up the whole base basically. And on a bigger bag, I would use this in a bigger bag too, and then it would have more room inside. I just sort of tuck the rest of that strap down out of the way. You know, I don't have to be neat about it. I don't really care about it that much. So then in there is that pouch, and it's secure and it has zippers. And so then I load up my stuff in there, the stuff that I feel is more, you know, valuable. I don't put everything in there, but I will put my iPad. This is my iPad mini in this. I never remember the dimensions. I measure it all the time. So I'm always looking for stuff it will fit in. This is 8 by about 5.5. Maybe a little bit smaller if I didn't have this case on it. But it fits right in there, and it will zipper up. The pouch will zipper up. Put this in there. Doesn't matter what, you know, what section to me. I mean, for the purpose of the video, it doesn't matter. Throw my phone in there. Put this wallet in there. You can sort of see, get the idea anyway. I'm using a lot of dark stuff right now. And then here's the, you know, here are the zipper pulls. Just close them up. And so that just made me feel really good because I feel like now I don't have to worry. Yeah, so this is how I like to carry the bag. It's blowing out a little bit. There we go. It's a little bright here. Trying to get the light a little bit better. That's better. Sort of see it. So now, you know, I don't have to worry, and I can leave the bag open the way that I like it. Because I'm not so crazy about always cinching it, or even if I do cinch it a little bit, it's not, you know, it's only a little. I don't like to do it a lot, but I just feel like I'm fighting with this cord. It doesn't slide through the grommets all that well, and I also don't want to wear off, cause friction all the time against, you know, with this cord here rubbing against the metal of the grommet, and then eventually creating wear on the fabric on this drawstring. I don't want that to happen. So, but anyway, so it just, you know, it fits in here perfectly. You know, I'm pushing on it now, so you can see it's really right to the edges there. But I just feel like for me, it's a very good solution, and it fits all the random loose things that I might throw in there. Now with same kind of concept, I'll just show what you can do with a iconic tote or some similar bag. It doesn't have this, you know, convenient like cord, you know, loop as part of the bag design. So anyway, to get it out of here, I probably, you know, if I were doing it not on video, you know, I'm leaving it packed up to save time, but I probably would empty it out before doing this. But to get it out, you know, you just refeed it through. And pull it out. So that's that. So with a bag like this, it only has straps. I'm just going to use, put it in there. So this would have more space, which is kind of nice in there. And I put it in there. But there's, you know, this is a bigger bag. There's a lot more space. So I would just take this, wrap it around, you know, one part of the strap. And I've done this with other crossbody, the all-in-one crossbody that I use as a wallet. I do this with that kind of thing all the time, or the strap wallet from the factory outlet store. And then you're just feeding this through there again, you know, and it sort of pulls down. And so you have that. I mean, you know, if that bothers you, then this isn't, you know, a solution for you. But that doesn't bother. It doesn't bother me, you know, that this thing is here. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I'm happier that my stuff is secure. So the aesthetics of it really don't matter to me, not for that thing. So I just thought, I would start out the video showing that solution. And then just quickly talk about some of the little like pouches and things that I use for some of these items. So now if I have a bag, some bags, some of the totes, this is a Hadley tote. This is Super Bloom, right? Very pretty. And I have a lot of videos. People know I have a lot of videos on the Hadley tote because I love it. So some tote bags can accommodate this. The zipper pocket accommodates this, and I think the Hadley, if I remember right, is one of them. Yes. So you can see that just slips right in there. I can zipper that up. So, if you have a device that's no bigger than 8 inches tall, that pocket's going to probably work fine for you. The other slip pockets in here are very small. Just, FYI, they're kind of small. Anyway, so then I have a whole sort of host of things, right, that I need to use if I want some kind of organization or protection bag. By protection, I mean like if I'm using, say, the packable tote. This is where I notice I really do this a lot. I put everything in some kind of enclosing pouch because I want to protect it, because the packable tote is so flimsy. The material is flimsy, so I don't feel like there's any protection there, like an exterior quilted wall of a bag. Or lined. I mean, the walls aren't quilted anymore unless it's a vintage bag, but a thicker exterior bag wall. But the linings, anyway, the linings aren't quilted anymore, but the exterior wall is still quilted, so I feel like that gives you some cushion. So when I realized that with the packable tote, I thought, okay, I don't even want to throw this in there. I just didn't even want to throw this in there. I felt like it's going to be swimming around. I'm going to have trouble finding it. But if I know what it's in, I can look for that. And so I got out some of my coin purses. And so I just wanted to mention, because the sizes are sort of slightly different. So I have here, this is the current coin purse. Doopy, do you want to come up? Okay. Everybody up. So this is the iconic coin purse. This is Lavender Meadow. It got dark here all of a sudden. It looks like it's going to rain. Okay, so this is the iconic coin purse, and it's a little on the small side. This is an old school kind of coin purse. This happens to be Yellow Bird, and it's a little bit bigger. Sort of. There we go. So when I first grabbed this to try for my phone to then put in the bag, and it just felt very tight. It fits in there, but it just was tight. So I didn't go with that, and I just wanted to mention that there is a difference in size. And then I remembered I had this. Now this is the smallest pouch in a Cosmetic trio. This pattern is Jazzy Blooms, I think. Yeah, and this was 2013. It's also retired. It's kind of a fun pattern. Now, I don't know that I would want a whole bag in this, but it's nice to get like a little touch of it. I like that. There's little the little black lines there. It's a nice little detail. The center of the flower. Sort of fun pattern. And I love the lining color, which is this wonderful like melon cantaloupe kind of color. Love that color. Very tropical. Better not be licking on the bed, okay? And I found that this size works really well. Even better than this, because I did try this too. And again, it felt kind of tight. But the smallest pouch in the iconic trio, the Cosmetic trio, just has a little bit more height and just a little bit, almost like a quarter of an inch maybe more width, and it just made all the difference to slip it in there. It was just easier to slip in there And then I like the fact that it felt like, you know, I had a little bit of wiggle room that I could grab. And so this I use a lot if I feel like I don't want my phone swimming, my clamshell phones, not, you know, swimming around inside of a bag. I do put it in this, the smallest pouch in the Cosmetic trio. So that's the first thing I use for my random stuff. Then the other thing is this, right? I mean, sometimes, like, again, with the packable tote, oh, this was just to show us another pattern. This is Flamingo Fiesta. And again, actually, you can see it over time. That's why I had this out, because I wanted to show. I don't know whether, I mean, I know this is a signature pattern. Please stop. I know this was a signature pattern originally. I don't know if it ever went to the factory line. Obviously, this is a factory. You know, the Cosmetic trio is just in the factory outlet stores now, and it does seem like the dimensions are slightly different. Just, you know, in case people might find that interesting. So maybe it has changed over time. So that's why I went with this. This is my only signature print Cosmetic trio that I have. This just felt, you know, I couldn't even fit it really in here. It just felt, it does fit, but it just felt harder to get in and out. I wanted it to be quicker than that. So then also, you know, I don't want my iPod floating around if the bag doesn't seem cushioned enough, like the packable totes. Guys, please stop. So that's when I use the tech case, and my iPod does swim around in it, but it doesn't bother me. Again, it almost makes it easier to find in a bag because it's a little bit bigger, and so I'm grabbing for something that's a little bit bigger, you know. So that's helpful. And I find that I don't like to match patterns when I do this with the various things, because then I know what pattern to look for which thing. So visually, it's just easier for me. This fits in there, and I mean, I also use this as a clutch sometimes. I mean, I bought it with the intention of using it as a clutch. You know, when I don't want to take a wallet, I can fit everything I need in here. I just cram everything in there, but you can see I can get my phone and my iPod in there. And it does zipper up, you know, easily. And this thing is, I don't know if I've measured this before in another video. This pattern is Waikiki Paisley, which again, I think it looks beautiful on other people's bags, but it's not for me as a big bag. It's not something I want to carry, but I do like it in little touches, little bits of color. 6.5 by 4, and maybe about 1 inch wide, but you could see I crammed stuff in there wider than 1 inch, and it was fine. Yeah, I'd say it's about 1 inch wide. And I love that cloth wristlet strap. I tend to leave it on because I never hang it from my wrist, but just, you know, it's one more thing that, you know, I can pull on if I find it in my bag. So I do that. I do use this just for my iPod, or sometimes my iPod and my phone together. I like that a lot. I have a couple of them. Now, I have yet to get an e-sleeve, a tablet sleeve, you know, e-reader sleeve. I know that they used to make them, and I have a feeling that those smaller tablet sleeves, like the laptop sleeves, would fit this. You know, it fits like a Kindle, or it fits the iPad mini. I think it would fit this. But I have yet to buy one on eBay. You know, I'm sure I could throw it in the wash, but I think that's what's making me hesitate, is I'm not sure if it'll smell and I can put it in the wash or whatever. But anyway, so I found that I can use the largest of the Cosmetic trio pouches. Will just fit this. This probably would slip in there easier if I didn't have this protective rubber case on it. And at some point, I'm sure I'll wear it out. When that happens, I'll probably just, you know, this will become much easier. But it is a tight fit only because of this edge of the zipper, where the, you know, the hardware of the zipper is taking up a little bit of space. So it's you know, shortening the length of the opening a little bit. But I just sort of put it in there like that. You can see it's a little short. Oops. And then I just sort of squeeze it in there, work it in there kind of gently. So I just had to check on him because he has bandages. I don't want him chewing them off. It's a battle. Keep his bandages on him. Anyway, so it slips in and it zips up. So it's not as easy, you know, easy in and out. And so it's not something I only do this really when I'm traveling or I know I'm not going to be accessing it for a while, but I want it to be more protected. Most of the time, I do feel okay slipping this in loose in a bag, except the packable tote. I will do it for the packable tote because that just seems so thin, you know, that you plunk it down and everything just kind of bangs around. So I just try to be a little bit careful when I'm working it in and out. I do find that this works best in I have Nomadic. Is it Nomadic Floral? Is that the name of that pattern? It might be a slightly different size. It might be just slightly longer. I have less trouble getting it in and out of that. But I do like that as a sort of a makeshift thing until I get an e-reader sleeve. So then also I've used this for smaller tech items. This is the Mirror Cosmetic pouch from the factory outlet store. This is Hilo Meadow, current pattern there. And again, I can fit, I've used this as a clutch with all my stuff in it. So I can fit an iPod in there. I think my phone even fits in there together with it. And I could still shove in, you know, a couple of credit cards and my ID. And so I've carried this as a clutch, and I've also used it, you know, in another bag just to sort of contain things. So I like this a lot. I've got a bunch of these. I probably will continue to get them. You know, it's a nice way to get a little taste of a pattern. So I really like that. Inside there's no, you know, sections, no slip pockets or anything. There's just the mirror in the slip pocket on the outside, you know. But that's not what I bought it for. So I do like that a lot. And then it stands up nicely too. If I'm using it as a clutch and I just want to like put it down on a table or something, it stands up nicely. And then just two more things I just wanted to mention. This is now I've talked about this in my other video on this. The tag on this one said it was the iconic RFID accordion wristlet. But on the website, it's a double accordion. It's the iconic, I think it's iconic, but it's the double accordion wristlet because it has a double gusseted section, which is why I like this so much. So it opens up wider than just the accordion wallets that only have one gusseted section. And what I've found is that I can fit my iPod in one section and my phone, you know, in another section, and I can zip it up. And I just was doing this earlier. It works better in certain sections than other sections. And it is a tight fit. It is tight. So this is more of an emergency situation, I would say, because I don't want it pulling too much here. I definitely have just used it for my iPod, and I've kept my phone separate, like in a slip pocket or something. But I have done that, or just used this as a clutch and done that, and then my phone is separate. So I really like this. I mean, I've raved about it in another video. I just like this particular, I mean, I use it as a wallet, so I call it a wallet, but it is technically a wristlet. And then the one other thing is this, because this works very well as a clutch. but you could use it in a, in an interior of a bag. You could contain stuff and then slip it into your bag. Same thing with the on the square wristlet from the factory outlet store, which I have another video on. Works very similar. You can get, I can get both these things in there. Well, so this is the, so many tags here. I know it's 3-in-1, yes. RFID 3-in-1 crossbody. I don't have the crossbody strap on here right now. I did recently do a video on this. It's sort of like the factory outlet version of the all-in-one crossbody. But what's nice about this is this big front pocket with a snap closure. I can put, one thing in there. Let's say my phone, a little fat phone. And do the snap. Then it has two sections, right? Like the all-in-one crossbody. It's got your section with your slip pockets and your ID window and all that. That doesn't give you a lot of width. But then it does have the second section, which is an accordion section. Doesn't open as wide as the double accordion wristlet that I just showed, but it's wide enough that I can slip that in there. And it closes up perfectly. And I just carried this like this going out to dinner a couple weekends ago, and it worked really well. I just carried it like this, and then I sat with it in my lap when I was eating. But I really like that I can get my phone and my iPod in there. And so, you could use this just to contain your stuff. Like I said, just slip it in a bag, carry it around. If that's what you're looking for, like interior bag organization or to contain stuff. I feel like I couldn't get my keys in here with my car key still attached, but if I had to, I wasn't driving and I needed to take a key with me, I could fit that in here too. It has that interior zipper section. You can slip a key in there, So I do, even though I feel like the all-in-one crossbody feels a little bit better made, a little bit more high-end, I do like that fact that I can get those things in here so nicely. Very much about this particular style. I could see getting another one of these just for that reason, just for that purpose. So I hope that was helpful, MamaG, just to go over how I use some of the items, maybe in not the typical or intended ways. But I do find that a lot of the bags, the slip pockets, the bags that have a secure top, like the zipper top, then I find that, my iPod or my phone will fit into this interior slip pockets, and I use them for that. Or, and if a bag has that larger zipper pocket, I sometimes will put my iPad mini in there or my wallet in there. So just to contain stuff a little bit. But I hope that was helpful. And so now, hopefully, I'm going to try to get myself organized to do my next request video. I don't know if I'll get them all loaded up today, but I'm going to try. But anyway, I'm not changing. I am not a fashion plate, and this is the outfit, so just, live with it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching.